on the Tom's tail of the tape that Collins is 3 inches taller and has a 3-inch reach advantage. Collins a half a pound heavier than Baptist, but Baptist has been fighting at 152, 153 as a junior middleweight. So he comes up in weight for this encounter tonight against Ron Collins. And now Sean O'Grady has the chalk in hand.
Ron Collins, as a left-hander, keep a busy right. Jab with it, feint with it, maneuver Baptist with it. A jabbing southpaw is hard to beat. And move to your right, circle behind Gilbert and make him reset. You'll have the angle on him and be more active later in this fight. Gilbert Baptist, use a quick straight right. On a southpaw boxer, you must split their guard, feint your left hand. That will keep you in control and get Collins reaching. Use a solid left hook. Then move to your left around behind Ron. This will also keep your front foot outside your opponents. A proven way to beat southpaws.
Ladies and gentlemen, fight fans of Birmingham, Alabama, next is the main event of the evening. Introducing first, a special introduction, one of the all-time great Hall of Fame fighters, great former lightweight champion, working out of the red corner, Aaron the Hawk Pryor. And fighting out of the red corner, weighing in at 159.5 pounds from LaPorte, Texas, wearing the white trunks with a black stripe, has a record of 17-11 with 5 knockouts. A nice welcome from San Diego, Gilbert Baptist. And in the blue corner, from LaPorte, Texas, undefeated in 20 professional fights, scoring 7 knockouts. He weighs 159.5. A big welcome for the IBF number 7 middleweight in the world, Ron the Bomb Collins. Referee for this bout is Richard Steele.
Year-old Ron Collins, who is perfect as a pro. He had 250 amateur bouts, 2 Texas Golden Gloves champion, and goes up against Gilbert Baptist, 25, originally from Newark, now from San Diego, and a record of 17-11 with 5 knockouts. Collins from LaPorte, Texas, right outside of Houston. And made the wise observation that Baptist at 17-11, kind of a Freddie Pendleton type of fighter, tremendous respect, and not even looking at the record. Baptist has fought better competition than Collins. Baptist earlier in his career won a 4-round decision over Antoine Bird, who's currently USBA super middleweight champion. He's fought Terry Norris twice. Norris, the current WBC super welterweight champ, and lost them both times in distance fights, the last one going 10 rounds. Baptist later in his career wheeled off 8 straight victories that led him to the USBA Championship Junior Middleweight division against Art Serrano. Baptist lost a 12-rounder, and in his last fight against tough Quincy Taylor, Taylor won the 10-round decision. That was his last fight, and that's 7 months ago.
And in that Taylor fight, he said he honestly beat me. So it was a good fight, but he was busier.
Lunging is Baptist with the right, and Collins is holding on. Collins is a boxer. He moves. He's one of the few fighters in this day and age who knows the importance of a jab, and he says that is the big thing, especially for this southpaw, to get the jab going.
And he says that's where my conditioning really comes in. I don't have a lot of power. He readily admits it. He says I'm not a puncher, which is good for a fighter who's a boxer to do. If they start thinking, they start believing they're a puncher, it's dangerous.
And you see Baptist, who is really wired up, real intense.
Very intense, and he's tight too. That worries me in a long distance fight because that tightness sometimes can take it out of you.
Collins with 7 knockouts in his 20 wins, only 1 KO in his last 7 fights. So he knows he has his hands full tonight with Gilbert Baptist. This is scheduled for 10. Collins has gone 10 rounds on 4 occasions. Baptist has been there 11 times. Baptist has gone 12 rounds on 2 occasions.
One thing that Collins is going to have to be careful of is the top of Gilbert Baptist's head. When he leans over, he bends from the waist. There he is again. If Collins could get together some effective uppercuts, he would score well.
But Collins has zoomed all the way up to number 7 in the world in the IBF. And what an opportunity for Baptist here tonight to try to take that away from him. Closing seconds of the opening round. Round number 2. Ron Collins in the black. Gilbert Baptist in the white. Baptist is ranked by the USBA number 12 as a junior middleweight. His last couple of fights were at 153.5 and 152. Tonight, he fights at 159.
And between rounds in both corners, they were really in tune to this fight, because in Collins' corner, they were saying he's pulling back, so nail him when he pulls back. In Gilbert Baptist's corner, they said stop pulling back. He's going to nail you when you pull back.
The biggest fan of Ron Collins, his wife Lynn, who's a paratrooper at 82nd Airborne, former paratrooper. Lynn Collins watching on at ringside.
Now a firefighter in Houston.
Baptist trying to tee off against Collins. Baptist stays busy, very aggressive fighter. The ex-Marine, he talks about the mental toughness he has in the ring. Good chin that may not be tested tonight by a hard-throwing fighter. Ron Collins' favorite fighter? Well, Luduva knows him very well. Lightweight champ Pernell Whitaker.
And he likes Whitaker's seriousness. He says he takes care of business. And that is so true. What a wonderful fighter Sweet Pea Whitaker is. Now, Billy Moore in the corner of Baptist was telling him, stay on the inside and punch out of there. Don't back up. There he is on the inside. This is where he wants him to punch, but mixing it up well. Billy Moore, the son of former light heavyweight champion of the world, Archie Moore.
Billy, who did box a little bit, but went the route of football scholarship at Cal State. He said his father fought enough for the whole family. Indeed, he is correct.
Isn't that the truth? Archie Moore had 140 knockouts. More knockouts than any other man.
Collins has terrific hand speed. And trying to get it going here tonight against Baptist.
Now Collins is boxing out of that southpaw stance. Oh, there's a short apron here, and Collins slipped off the back of it. They've had problems with that apron all night.
And now Collins testing a leg. He may have hurt his left leg. Week, Budweiser presents USA Tuesday Night Fights from Baltimore. Former world featherweight champion Calvin Grove at 37-3. Now after the junior lightweight crown, he goes head-to-head with Julian Solis, another ex-world champion who's knocked out 20 of his 40 victims. That's next week. Budweiser presents USA's Tuesday Night Fights.
Here is where Ron Collins stepped off the back of the ring. The apron is not very wide, number one. Secondly, the ring rope is up high, higher than usual. So out of the ring he went. Oh, now that could damage your knee or your ankle.
Well, the doctor checking the ankle, and the Baptist trying to take advantage of it. Springs out for the start of the third round. It is a scheduled 10-rounder, middleweights. Undefeated Ron Collins, ranked 7th in the world by the IBF, in the black, and Gilbert Baptist in the white trunks. Baptist grew up in New Jersey and Newark. Now, many of the gangs, he said he wanted to prove himself with his fists, not with guns and knives. He went to a boxing school, he stayed with it, then went into the Marines where he fought his amateur fights. And now, big fight for him against the world-ranked Collins.
He is now a probation officer. He works for the kids at the juvenile hall in San Diego. And as they're all watching him tonight, and he is scoring here in this round. This is a different Gilbert Baptist than we saw against our Serrano, Al. He's busier. He's more effective in this fight.
And he's hearing it from the corner. There is Billy Moore, the son of Archie Moore. First time that Billy Moore saw Baptist, Billy was doing this in color on a broadcast of the fight. Baptist was getting hammered in the fight, and Moore was yelling at the referee to stop it, and Baptist then came back to knock out his opponent. Billy doesn't like to be reminded of that story, but that's the first glimpse he got of Baptist and knew the kind of heart that he had, and they since have been together.
And he is showing a lot of heart in this fight, keeping Collins back against the ropes. Perfect for a shorter man that Baptist is. What Collins should do is get advantage of that 3-inch reach that he carries, and he's not able to do it in here. Now, perhaps what he could do in there is tie up his opponent and allow for the referee to break him. Or get busy, get those hands moving.
Well, for certain, Collins not going to get the jab moving where he is now.
Oh, there's a lot of pushing in there. And the heads are so close together, you have to be worried and concerned about a headbutt.
And we take you right into the corner. There's a time remaining in the third. Most of this round has been right there.
You know, that's the best thing for Baptist, because against the left-handers, they can confuse you if you're out on the outside. Right here, Baptist doesn't realize that Collins is a southpaw.
Collins almost strangled by the upper rope, and now Richard Steele breaks him up in the final 10 seconds of the third. Big right by Baptist. A good round for Gilbert Baptist. Billy Moore in the corner of Gilbert Baptist.
Right hands under and over. Come back to your hook. Go right back to your jab again. Put yourself back on balance.
A good third round for Gilbert Baptist, and Billy Moore trying to fire him up even more.
Moore wants him to work his way in, score, and then work his way out if he backs up. That's why he's saying end up with the jab. Good instructions from Billy.
And if you were just tuning in for this fight, didn't know anything about the fighters, you would think that Baptist was the 7th-ranked fighter in the world, and not Collins.
Well, so far, it's been all Baptist. He stayed right in the face of Collins, but here's what he cannot do. He cannot give distance to Collins.
Doesn't appear as if the left foot of the ankle area is bothering Collins at this point after slipping off the apron. But he knew that Baptist would be in his face. Is that the kind of guy that Collins wants to face with that jab and his movements?
Actually, Collins said, I like it when the opponents come after me, but he doesn't like this. Baptist is right on top of him. Now here's good opportunities and a nice punch by Baptist for him to score to the body.
And now Collins turns it around and has Baptist holding on. Collins belting away, but not known as a big puncher. Now Baptist, as they square off here in the 4th round.
Neither one of them is known as a big puncher, but I tell you, they're middleweights, and they do possess some power.
Collins 20 wins, 7 knockouts. Baptist 17 victories, 5 KOs.
Good combination by Baptist. he's seeing now that the control is slipping away just a little bit, so he had to flurry to put Collins back into a shell.
Now it appears as if Baptist is the stronger, bigger fighter, but in reality, Collins is the natural middleweight, and Baptist is up about 6-7 pounds to get to 159 for this fight. His normal weight in the low 150s, and now Collins with Baptist all over him. 30 seconds left in the fourth.
And the reason that's happening now is because because Baptist has the angle on Collins.
What does all this leaning also do to Collins, with Baptist leaning all over him?
It wears him down. This is just the way that Gilbert Baptist wants to fight. Right in your face. This is the way he works out every day. This is the way he knows how to fight. Collins does not. Collins must get back to that right jab. Get Baptist on the end.
We're at the Boutwell Auditorium, downtown Birmingham, Alabama. Al Albert, along with the champ, Sean O'Grady. Budweiser presents USA's Tuesday Night Fights. And we have our main event going. And a fight in which the undefeated Ron Collins goes up against 17-11 Gilbert Baptist. Collins at 20-0. And right now it appears as if it is Baptist in control.
Well, he realized what a big opportunity this is, going up against the world-rated Collins, the undefeated Collins. One thing you never know about a fighter who's undefeated is you really don't know how really good he is.
And Collins also admitting before the fight, it's a tough one because Baptist has fought some bigger name fighters. Collins still unproven, even though he has gotten the ranking in the top 10. Efren Olivo, first round knockout. Roberto Brazillas, a 10-round decision. Jerry Okoro, an 8-round decision. Those rank as some of the top fights for Collins. And the other side of the ledger, Baptist has beaten Antoine Bird, although that was early in both of their careers. 4-round decision. Bird is right now the reigning USBA super middleweight champion. A couple of fights, distance fights with Terry Norris, current world champion. Baptist also beat Rosillas. And then the fight with Serrano for USBA title, which Serrano won in 12. Baptist all over his man. And it appears as if Ron Collins coming a little flat for this fight tonight.
Well, you know, it always goes back to how much do you want it. You look at this fight, and it appears that Gilbert Baptist wants it more than Collins does. Evander Holyfield wanted that championship more than Buster Douglas did. There is a left hook, but their feet also got tangled up at the same time. Something you can use against those left-handed fighters. Step on their foot and then hit them.
Baptist, a determined fighter, never gave up, even though his first 18 fights, he had a very, very mediocre record of 9-8-1. But included there were fights with Kenny Lopez, Jesse Flores, both long-distance defeats. But then he went on a roll. He won 8 straight, which led him to the Serrano USBA fight.
Wow, and he is landing here in this 5th round. And you look at some of the changes that he's made in his organization. In his corner is Billy Moore, who's screaming at him to throw punches. Tommy Brooks is over there.
For our local cable systems, we'll pause now for these messages. 5 rounds down, 5 to go. You're sitting ringside at the Boutwell Auditorium in Birmingham, Alabama. USA's Tuesday Night Fights, first here in the state of Alabama. And we could be witnessing a first here tonight in our main event. First defeat for Ron Collins. He really has to get him motoring heading into the 6th round. Baptist continues to lean on Collins. We saw Billy Moore, the son of Archie Moore, in the corner of Baptist, and here's the former junior welterweight champion, Alan Pryor. And if he's getting paid by the word tonight, he's going to make a lot of money.
Well, it was 8 years ago next Monday that he, terrific fight against Alexis Arguello. He TKO'd Alexis in the 14th round.
And Aaron is still looking to put the pieces together as an active fighter.
Fighting soon in Tijuana, Mexico.
Walked into Sean O'Grady at the weigh-in. The first thing he asked Sean is if he wanted to fight him.
Everybody wants to fight me.
This fellow came over, a big hug, and hey, let's get in the ring and punch each other's brains out. And now they're going at it halfway through the 6th.
And here's the problem you have with a fighter who doesn't have that big power punch. He gets behind in a fight, like Collins is, he can't pull it out.
Gilbert Baptist just not giving Ron Collins any room.
And between rounds, Billy Moore saying, hey, come on, let's take it back to California with us. Baptist from San Diego. Doing well on his fight plans, Gilbert Baptist. He said he's going to work the body, he's going to stay right on top of him.
Under 30 seconds left in the 6th. Richard Steele, the third man in the ring. 79 World Championship fights. Shows his 4 biggest fights. Hearns Hagler, Taylor Chavez, controversial fight. Leonard Hearns number 2, and Tyson versus Bruno. Tough to separate the two. Baptist almost attached to Collins. Let's go into the corner of Ron Collins. Ray Marconi talks, and we'll find out a little more about Collins outside the ring.
Deep breaths, Ron. You're going to have to suck it up. He wants it worse than you do, that's all. He's just laying it on. You're laying on him stupid ropes. You're the guy that the promoters love. I know he is. Not him. I know he is. And you're giving it to him. What round is it?
So Ron Collins gets an earful in his corner.
Let's see how bad you want to take care of it. You have all the kids at Juvenile Hall watching you. You have all the church people watching you. You have all of San Diego watching you. You got Archie Moore watching you. And he said, don't come back home losing. Let's bring it.
During the round, Billy Moore was screaming, Archie Moore, Archie Moore, to give Gilbert Baptist a little bit more inspiration. And you heard it in the corner from Ray Marconi, and Ron Collins said he wants it more than you do. This is a game of desire. 7th round. How much do you want it?
Ron Collins' corner, very accurate in their assessment. Have futures in color commentary. And they hope they're not looking for that future after tonight.
Maybe they can fight Aaron Pryor.
Collins trying to open it up here on the 7th, but there he is again with his back to the ropes.
And they don't want his back to the ropes. Marconi wants him moving, wants him jabbing. Good combinations by Collins. Well, what a changed fighter we see today in Baptist than when we saw him against Serrano. Now he has the intensity, he's got the fire. That's how boxing is so much different than other sports. I mean, a fighter you can see a fighter against an Art Serrano and say, hey, I can beat that guy with my hands tied behind my back. He shows up, he's a completely different fighter.
Baptist realizing also he lost to Serrano, he lost to Quincy Taylor in February. And another loss right here completely wipes him out of the picture. And a victory turns it around 180 degrees. Puts him right back into the picture.
But tonight he looks like he could be a top 10 fighter. Ron Collins does not. Collins saw the Art Serrano Gilbert Baptist fight. He said he's a tough fighter and he always comes to fight. But I don't think he was expecting the Gilbert Baptist that he's in the ring with right now.
You know, we talk a little bit about the fighters who really don't scout opponents enough, especially when you compare them with other sports. Here may be an instance where the worst thing for Collins was to watch the tape of Baptist Serrano.
Yes, and so many fighters do that and just leave it at that. If you can have a scout go over and take a look at the workouts of your opponent, that helps a tremendous amount.
What are some of the things you pick up in a workout?
Well, you see, first of all, what kind of condition your opponent is, what kind of aggressiveness he's using, such as Gilbert Baptist is using now. I mean, you pick out how much he's running in the morning. I've had it done to me before. People watch me with binoculars running in the morning and then watch my workouts at night scouting.
Ron Collins opening up a little bit more in the 7th, staying off the ropes. Rounds 8, 9, and 10 over the horizon in this middleweight matchup. Collins, 27 years old in the black. He takes an undefeated record into the ring at 20-0 against Gilbert Baptist, who came in at 17 and 11. But Collins aptly calling Baptist the Freddie Pendleton of the middleweight division. Don't look at the record, just look at the fighter. And I think at this point, Ron Collins would have rather been facing Gilbert Godfrey than Gilbert Baptist.
I don't know, with that conditioner, you have to wonder. Squirt that conditioner all over his hair.
I think right now Gilbert Gottfried is back in the locker room working on George Foreman's head. 1 minute gone by in the 8th. Al Albert along with the champ Sean O'Grady at ringside in Birmingham.
A very determined Gilbert Baptist. Aaron Pryor giving instructions from the corner.
Now listen, if you're Gilbert Baptist now, and you have tuned the ear to the corner, you have Aaron Pryor yelling things at you, you have Billy Moore yelling things at you. Are you hearing any of that? You tune it all out, or do you tune into one particular guy? They're both very loud.
You hear it all. You only comprehend, though, you're so used to one training voice. And though Aaron Pryor has been training with Baptist, Moore is the one he should be in tune to.
So in other words, he's listening to Billy Moore.
More. Much more. Much more.
Inside the final minute of round number 8. Nice crowd on hand at Birmingham, and they certainly enjoyed the sideshow put on by Big George Foreman. George playing to the crowd, that lovable heavyweight.
A lot of nice people here in Birmingham. Good place.
Great to be here. You know, it's funny with George, when you look back at Foreman and Ali and Zaire, and you look at the roles that they had there. Now in this Holyfield fight, Foreman is almost playing the part of Ali. And you got Holyfield, who is the kind of the quiet one.
And he is the people's favorite. You see him here. They love Big George. Everybody knows George Foreman.
Now you notice the back of the head of Ron Collins. There is an inscription there, and we're going to take a closer look at the hairstyle of Ron Collins.
The announcer, when I first turned professional, announcer Gordon Wood, you know, he's a great announcer. And he had seen me fight before, and, you know, coming up, I was a faster fighter, you know, with my punches and stuff. And he gave me the name. The reason he called me Tequila, because, like, when you drink tequila, it hits you before you know it. And he said that's what I kind of did to my opponents. So.
Well, I think they need a shot of tequila in that corner. Sean, let's get a report card. After 8 rounds, go back to the original boxing blackboard.
Well, the first thing that I said for Collins was use that right hand. He has not been doing that. He's been allowing for Baptist to stay on top of him. Baptist has done pretty well with the right, the feint, and the hook. So for Baptist, I give him an A, 100%. Collins has to get busy.
He has 2 rounds to do it. And it would be a tough shot for Ron Collins going into the last couple of rounds, needing a knockout to win a fight. He is not a knockout puncher. 7 KOs in his 20 wins.
Well, perhaps he's going to show us something tonight. Not known for a knockout puncher,
right.
but...
Well, he may have to pull it out that way. Beating him to the punch is Gilbert Baptist with the left. Collins is ranked number 7 by the IBF, number 11 by the WBA, and number 12 by the WBC. Baptist is not ranked by a world organization.
One good thing for Collins, he is a natural right-hander, and he's been landing with that right hook. If he could score with that, he would have more power than in his left hand. But not with his opponent staying right in his face like Baptist is.
Remember, it was early in the fight, Sean, in the second round, that Collins, moving back along the ropes, slipped on that short apron and appeared to hurt his left ankle. Now, he hasn't shown signs of that, but could that have shaken him up there?
Well, you know, he's gone consistently downhill ever since then. That could have mentally shaken him up. You know, what you want to do is put your opponent on the deck, however you do it, even if it means making him slip off the back. So being down, he was embarrassed, perhaps a little bit hurt too, and mentally he was hurt.
That's the time remaining in round number 9. Earlier, Donald Stokes, the Cronk fighter, made it 20 wins, 20 knockouts with a 7th round KO over Jose Barboza, a fight in which Stokes came off the canvas in the second round to knock out his opponent in the 7th.
This is the best way to fight a left-handed fighter, right on top of him. I bet you Baptist does not even realize Collins is left-handed. The punches come at you the same when you're that close. Moore is screaming Ray Leonard to Baptist. He wants him to flurry here. Throw real fast, quick, snapping punches. He wants to flurry and steal the last part of this round.
It is the 10th and final round, and a final pep rally in the corner of Gilbert Baptist. Billy Moore yelling to Baptist, who came into this fight last week. He's known about a week. Willie the Worm Monroe was supposed to fight Collins, and he shouted in the face of Baptist that they brought you out here to use you. They brought you in as a stiff, just making sure that he tries to take away the 10th round, although on Sean O'Grady's card, Baptist far and away leading this fight, and he is the more experienced 10-round fighter. This is the 12th time he's been in the 10th, and the 5th time for Collins.
And Baptist has been in control of this fight since the 3rd round. The first 2 I gave to Collins. You know, what Moore was wanting to do is make Baptist angry at the organization here, angry at this fight, and angry at Ron Collins.
Oh, by Collins, he gets one in.
And there's the right hook from the natural right-hander in Collins. And look at Baptist now trying to take that control back. Look where he is. He's right on top of Collins. He got hit and he smothered Collins. Oh.
Collins getting a little more room, and he has been scoring well in the 10th, and he's got Baptist hanging all over him.
And this is the way Collins should have been fighting since the 3rd round on.
And the leaning by Baptist. All fight, trying to wear down Collins.
Guts and determination from Gilbert Baptist.
Inside the final minute of the fight.
Well, the next fight, Collins may have Baptist inscribed on his head instead of tequila.
Well, here's another example where Collins may have been better off if this was a 12-rounder because he is coming on here in the 10th. But there again is Gilbert Baptist looking like he's on the line of scrimmage, pass blocking, and now tackling the running back.
Well, unfortunately for Collins, it took him 9.5 rounds to figure out this style of Baptist.
And here's the final flurry inside 10 seconds in the fight.
A good matchup. Gilbert Baptist make this fight. One fight can make a difference for a fighter.
And this may be the one fight to catapult Gilbert Baptist. Aggressive style, just not allowing his opponent to get started. Baptist had won 8 in a row. He's come off 2 straight losses to Art Shawano for the USBA title. And also to Quincy Taylor, and that was 7 months ago. First fight in 7 months for Baptist, who comes in on short notice and may have handed Ron Collins his first defeat as a pro and knock him out of the top 10 in the IBF. So right now, the two fighters converse as the judges and the referee tabulate the scoring.
And you cannot be overlooking any last-minute substitutes like Gilbert Baptist. That's what happened here. Collins was overlooking him. Good showing by Baptist. I've got him ahead on my official, unofficial scorecard.
Collins not taking Baptist lightly, but unable to get on track tonight. Baptist leaning all over him. And Collins says, to be effective, I got to get that jab going, and he never did.
He realized the importance of it because that's exactly what he told me. He watches our shows occasionally, talks about how important the jab is to a boxer, but we didn't see much of a jab from him.
Unconditional love in the corner. Lynn Collins. And we are ready for a decision, and there seems to be much consultation, and you know what that means. Yes. All right, here's Bill Kaplan.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a split decision.
Yep.
I will read the scores. Judge Ron Moon scores the fight 97-93 Baptiste. Referee Richard Steele scores the fight 97-95 Collins. The deciding vote is cast by Judge Flynn Gerald. The score 98-94 for the winner, Baptiste.
Well, the suspense mounted. We had Baptiste winning here at the ringside table, but it went on a split decision. And look at the three. Pryor, Moore, and Baptist, who records the biggest win in his professional career as he takes out 7th-ranked middleweight, formerly undefeated Ron Collins. And Baptist pulls it off, and as we said in the beginning, there isn't a clear-cut favorite, so you can't even call it an upset. Baptist with a 17-11 record coming in, but had fought better named opponents, and that comes through for him tonight.